The number one factor that will determine your success in dating is not your height, it's not your looks, it's not your money, it's not your status, it's not your beard, your game. It is your location, aka your dating market, where you live, where are you trying to pick up women. So let's imagine two scenarios, right? Let's take average Adam. Average Adam is average across the board. Height, looks, money, game, status. He's just a complete average guy. Average social media, etc. So let's put average Adam in a city like Manhattan, a city like New York, Miami, Chicago, Los Angeles. What's gonna happen to poor little average Adam when he tries to step up and spit some game at the hotties? Well, as you guys probably already know, these women are going to walk all over poor average Adam, and he's not gonna have any success with these attractive women in these big cities, in these very competitive dating markets. Now let's imagine we put average Adam in Burundi, or Suriname, or Burma, or some other country that you guys probably haven't heard of. I'm not making these up. These are, in fact, real countries. You guys know exactly what would happen if we put average Adam in some obscure small country. His sexual market value, aka how he's perceived by women, his success that he gets, the way he's treated, skyrockets, right? The second he gets on a plane and goes to another country, he goes from a 5 to a 7, 8, 9, 10 sometimes. This is why we have passport bros. This is why guys like me and millions of other men around the world are leaving their countries, typically the Western world, Canada, US, Australia, countries like that, and going to find more traditional, more feminine, more easily obtainable women overseas. So what this is all culminating to is what I'm going to call my small town strategy. Now, before I get into exactly what that is, you guys probably knew it was coming down to that. Let's talk about some more of the problems in big cities. I have my notes here. So the problem with big cities by and large is that women just have life on easy mode, right? It's just too good for them. As guys, it's hard to relate or imagine what it must be like to go through life and just be completely worshipped everywhere you go by everybody you meet just because your face is beautiful, just because you were born pretty, or even average, right? Like I said, the bar is so low, even if you just aren't fat, like you're literally just an average girl in a big city. I'm not talking about just the beautiful girls. The bar is so low, and social media inflates them even more. You know, as a guy, we're judged by the value that we provide to society. So it's really weird to imagine, like, I haven't solved any problems. I have zero life experience. I haven't done anything with my life at all whatsoever, added zero value to society. But because I was born looking not even pretty, just non-ugly, just I went to the gym a few times and don't eat like crap, and I'm not fat. I have access to yachts, mansion parties, etc. And especially for those really hot girls and girls that use social media a lot. Like my buddy Myron from Fashion Fit, maybe I'll play a clip of this, but he was talking about how dating a true 9 or 10, most of you guys can't relate to this, you know, unfortunately, not to bag on you, but when you date a true 9 or 10, the guys that are sliding in her DMs, right, it's just obnoxious. And a lot of times these girls get very inflated egos about it. They just don't, they're not grateful. They're not appreciative. They're entitled. Here, I will play that quick clip from Myron so you can hear it from him as well.
If you're in a relationship with them, I'm telling you, ask any guy that's been with a 9 or 10 before. They will tell you it's a fucking headache, and a lot of the time, it's not worth it. Also, just a little news flash for you guys, they don't have any personal skills. They don't have any personal development because since the time they were young, they've been on pageants maybe, they've been very attractive, etc. Everything has been given to them because they're beautiful. That's not what you want, bro. That is not what you want. Yeah. They're entitled to another degree. And it's until you date one of these girls that you will know what it is.
And actually, you know, I dated a true 10, Lana. I'll put her on the screen. You guys know I've talked about Lana. I've done content with Lana. And we did a video where we just kind of laughed. We went through her DMs and we were just laughing. Guys offering her $20,000 to send feet pictures occasionally and do a video call once a week. Vacations, cars, basically anything this girl ever wanted in life could be handled by some guy in her DMs. Now, Lana was a good girl. That's why I dated her. She made her own money. She was a lawyer. So, you know, she was one of the good ones. But these girls that live in, and Lana was from a small town, which we'll go back to the small town strategy in a second. But it just goes to show, right? A girl like that who is in a big city probably wouldn't have the same values that she has. Now, if you think that this strategy is just for chumps, right? Like you're taking the easy way out. I always hear that, like, oh, you know, so what if you're getting these girls overseas, you know, who cares? Well, first of all, why would you want to make your life intentionally more difficult? And then reverse even back to that, Let's take a look at my friend Walter, aka Fresh Prince CEO, the other half of the Fresh and Fit podcast. This guy has higher sexual market value than anybody watching this video will ever have. He is a decent looking black guy, rich, multimillionaire with a fleet of supercars, famous as fuck in Miami. You will never be able to compete with that. I don't know how many millions of Instagram followers he has, how many supercars. Your sexual market value will never be anywhere near what Walter's is. And what does Walter do? Fresh Prince CEO, same person, Walter, his real name. He dates primarily, at least when I lived with him, girls not from Miami. Why is this? Same thing we just talked about. He will fly in girls from Canada, small random cities and towns around the US, just because they're more appreciative, they're less entitled, they're less of a headache to deal with. Walter can get girls in Miami. Okay, like I said, Walter has higher sexual market value than anybody you know and you will ever have. And even he primarily, at least when I knew him, I don't know if he's changed since then, but at least when I knew him, despite the fact that he could get girls in Miami, he elected to date girls from smaller towns. So to drive this point home again, we talked about this. You go to a small city, you go overseas, and your sexual market value shoots up. I want to be careful how I say this on YouTube, but this is a true fact. This is a Googleable or YouTubeable fact that men in small cities in coastal Colombia, cities outside of Cartagena, Barranquilla, etc., and the coastal cities in Colombia, to this day, it is very normal practice that these men in these small cities engage in physical acts of intimacy with donkeys. Okay, they literally do this. From 15 to 16-year-old, this is how these men practice and prepare for human women, is by practicing first on animals. So if average Adam, who's getting ignored by any remotely attractive woman in New York, LA, Miami, goes to one of these coastal cities in Colombia, where the men are literally engaging in physical acts of intimacy with donkeys, how is average Adam not going to be perceived as a rock star to these girls? And not only is Adam's value through the roof in these small cities, but the girls, like I said, are more behaved. They're more grateful. They're less entitled. They're more feminine. They're more traditional. There's all these things. So it works both ways. Not only is Adam Average not getting ignored by these bitchy women who are entitled, he's getting appreciated by better women. So it works both ways, right? Better women, more attention, versus in a competitive dating market in a big city, worse women and less attention. So even a guy like me, right? I'll show footage of me with all the beautiful women I've had over the years. I think my resume speaks for itself. As far as my text game with women, I have testimonials from Myron Gaines, good friend of mine, Fresh and Fit podcast. Obviously, I run his dating apps and Instagram for him. I DM girls, message girls, and game them up to a point where they want to go on a date with him and then pass it off to him. I've done this for Alex Valinchik, Playing with Fire. I have all the accolades and all the testimonials to prove that I'm a certified wizard at finding women online, texting them, etc. But even full transparency, I'm struggling a bit here in Brazil. I had it on easy mode in Colombia. I was kind of a celebrity there. It's also just a very, very easy dating market, one of the easiest in the world. But you come to a country like Brazil, and even a guy like me who's well above average and has one of the best Instagram profiles and best text game in the universe, it's tough out here. I mean, you guys know I've had success. I'll post some of the girls from Brazil. I am getting success with hot girls, but even I'm considering, what am I doing here? And then that reminds me, like I said, Lana was not from one of these big cities. That beautiful Brazilian girl, that 10 that I dated, she was from a smaller town. She's from Bahia. So this brings me to the small town strategy. Let's get into that a bit more. I am going to be filming a series of videos. I may compilate them all into one mega video or may release them, periodically, but it is called Project Wifey, for lack of a better word. I'm 35. I'm not getting any younger. I'm getting a little tired of just running through all these hoes. And I want a long-term relationship, right? At least I think I do. Maybe I get one and I'm like, no, I don't want this. But I'm pretty sure I do. I want family, kids, all that. And if I want to start putting a baby in a girl and having kids when I'm young enough to have energy for them, etc., I'm going to have to get dead serious and tackle this problem head on. And there's a chance I might meet my future wifey in São Paulo, but a great strategy, a cornerstone of this strategy, which I'm calling Project Wifey, is the small town strategy, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be employing a fleet of virtual assistants. I'm going to have multiple Instagram accounts, multiple dating accounts, multiple Tinders, etc. And we're going to be going everywhere in Brazil attacking all these small cities, right? These are cities where the dating market is going to be very favorable. They're not used to a city like Sao Paulo or Rio where there's tall, jacked guys, rich guys and give them everything they want, unlimited options, so they become very flaky, where I can stand out and be, a rock star to them, basically, right? And of course, when you're looking for a very high quality girl, a girl that has all the characteristics, like what do I want in a girl? She has to be brown, thick, small waist, speak English, low body count, smaller private social media, never been a hoe in her past. It's a big plus if she's bisexual, likes girls, non-jealous, non-needy, highly, highly intelligent. That's the number one attractive thing to me is intelligence. So these virtual assistants are going to have their work cut out for them because 80 to 90% of the girls are just not going to be long-term wifey material, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, I've talked about this before. If you guys want to try a virtual assistant, it will change your life. I'll let you try it for free. Link is in the description of this video. If you qualify, I can't take everybody, but fill out this quick form. If you qualify, I will let you try one of our virtual dating assistants for free. And I'm so confident that you'll love it. That's why I'm doing this for free. It will change your fucking life. You guys have no idea what the power of using virtual assistants, what that's going to do for your dating life, right? The amount of time is, dude, as if I have time to manage multiple Tinder accounts, multiple Instagram accounts, be buying boosts, be swiping on girls, be liking and following girls, going back and unfollowing the girls that didn't accept me, DMing girls, like as if I have time to do that, right? But I want a wifey and I want something more, so that's what is going to happen. Like I said, if you want to try a virtual dating assistant, the link to apply for that is in the description of this video. So that's all I got today, guys. Take this advice to heart. And subscribe to the channel. I'm tired of you ninja watchers. No one is dropping the real cutting edge dating advice like I am, the shit that actually matters, that's actually helping guys today that are lonely. Look, my mission in life, what I've decided is to eradicate loneliness in men. And I don't mean like just for incels. I mean, good looking guy, you go to a new city, you don't know anybody, you're getting flaked on Tinder, you can't get a girl, you've been there for 2 months, haven't gotten laid. That's what I mean. Loneliness across the board for everybody. I experience it from time to time. And that's what my mission in life is. Like the video, comment, subscribe, help me get this word out. Let's help each other help more guys. Guys need this information, right? Guys are struggling, guys are self-deleting, guys are feeling depressed when they don't have to be. Follow this channel, Instagram as well. RedbeardRants1 is my username, and go to just the website, redbeardrantz.net. I'm making a new website. It's kind of crappy at the time of this, but schedule a call with me. I can go deeper into this with you with a small town strategy. I have a lot to teach on this. I've done, a lot of, studying and things on this. If you want to meet a girl that's going to appreciate you, that's going to be more beautiful and feminine than anything you've ever dealt with, and is going to be easier to obtain than anything you've ever dealt with, we need to talk about that small town strategy. And that's all I have for today, guys. Much love. Peace.